Hi everyone, welcome to the channel and this video. My name is Lucas and today we're taking a look at the Ibanez TOD10N. Since you're watching this video, I guess you're familiar with Tim Henson of Polyphia. This is his signature nylon string guitar and it was provided for this review, for this demo video by Ibanez Germany, so thanks a lot for that. Still, all the opinions I'm expressing in this video are my own. Alright, let's kick it off with the specs of this guitar. We have a solid Sitka spruce top, we have sapele back and sides, we have a walnut fretboard with the Tree of Death, that's what the TOD stands for, Tree of Death inlays, we have a walnut bridge over here, so walnut and walnut, the neck is Nayato, it's a C-shaped neck, the fretboard radius of the guitar is pretty flat with 15.75 inch, but your typical nylon string is usually even flatter. The width at the nut and right up here is 46 millimeters. For comparison, with electric guitars you usually have around 43 millimeters, so it's a little bit wider, which yeah, it takes a little bit of time to get used to if you're not used to wider fretboards or you're not playing nylon string guitars like I did. So for me, at first it was unusual because it's just slightly wider, but you get used to that pretty quickly. We have classical style tuners, gold and these white plastic knobs. They hold tune pretty well, so no complaints there. And of course you have a sound hole up here, as well as the electronics. There's a Fishman preamp built in. It has volume, treble bass and a tuner and a phase button as well. So I'm plugged into the Yamaha THR30 now, and when I'm engaging the tuner, you can only hear the guitar, tuner not on, audio coming through the amp. So that's a pretty cool feature. We have a total of 22 frets. They are relatively narrow, so nothing in comparison to like jumbo frets. It's really cool that you have very high access here. You might be wondering what the action is on a guitar like this. If you are familiar with nylon guitars, they usually have pretty high action because the vibration of the nylon string is wide, so it needs more space. They have around 4 to 3 millimeters, so 4 on the low E and 3 on the high E string. And this one, the action is higher than on an electric. I managed to get it to 2.8 millimeters, so below 3 millimeters on the low E, and 2.25, 2.5 on the high E. And it plays great this way, so absolutely effortless. And also with the action not being too high and the fretboard not being too wide compared to an electric guitar, I think it's fairly easy to transition from an electric or from a steel string acoustic guitar to this one. Down here you have the jack for the cable or wireless unit, and here's the battery compartment as well. This guitar might remind you of a T-style if you look at it like this, but Ibanez calls it FR body. It's a hollow body guitar, so overall it's completely hollow. The guitar is made in Indonesia, it says so right here on the sticker in the sound hole, and it retails for €700 or $700 US. It doesn't come with a gig bag, unfortunately, but if you have a regular gig bag for electric guitars like this one, it fits in, because it's overall it's a hollow guitar, but it's very thin. The body has about the same thickness as a Les Paul. There's the gig bag with the guitar in it, and absolutely no problem. So if you have any electric guitar gig bags, it works just fine. For an acoustic gig bag might be too big, too spacious, so it would be rattling or falling around, so probably take an electric gig bag, but you don't have to buy a separate one. I want to address a couple of points now and things that you might have asked yourself. So, how loud is it acoustically? I just keep talking now so you can hear how loud it is. And yeah, you can hear probably, you can talk over it, no problem. I don't have fingernails. To get a decent volume. We compared it. It's maybe as loud as Martin's 335, so like a semi-hollow guitar. I think it's a little bit louder. So that was with fingers, and now with a pick, I use a pretty thin one now. So that's no amp sound, that's no editing. It's just the mic standing right here, picking up from the sound hole. So overall it's not extremely loud, of course, with a small body overall and this side sound hole. But in my opinion, this guitar is definitely meant to be played in. I mean, you can play it unplugged, of course, but just by yourself, just for practice. If you want to play it on stage or rehearsal or want to record, you have to plug it in anyways. So it's, for me, it's not an acoustic that you mic. It's not the sound coming through here. That's great sounding. It's the piezo. It's the preamp tone, and for that you can use, or you can plug it directly into an audio interface. I tried that with the Focusrite. It sounds great. I really enjoyed the tone, and you can add some effects afterwards. For all the playing in this video, I use the THR because it has reverb and different acoustic settings. I'm using the modern setting, that's the green one, on the acoustic setting. So it's simulating a mic that's recording the acoustic tone, and with a little bit of spring reverb on top. Of course, it's much louder with the amp. So you can plug it directly into an audio interface. You can obviously also plug it into a PA. You can use an amp like the THR. It also works with the Spark 40, so just something that has an acoustic setting. But you could also theoretically use tube amps on the clean channel. That also works. You might also wonder, how does this guitar sound with a little bit of gain? Well, let's find out. I'm on the high gain setting now. All right. It doesn't really work well with bending on nylon strings, in my opinion. So that works all right, I would say, if you want to mess around with it. Since it doesn't have a neck as wide as a classical or typical nylon string guitar, you might also wonder, can you use your regular capo? And I have two different ones, these, and I prefer this one. And it's for steel string, usually, for electrics or classical acoustic guitars. And it works. The good thing about this one is that you can adjust how tight it is, and it's a little bit buzzy now, and so you can use the Gigbags you already have, you can use the Capos you already have, you can play it with fingers or with a pick, you can plug it into clean amps or PAs and audio interfaces, of course. And yeah, like I prefer with the THR. It has a built-in tuner and plays nicely. It doesn't play like an electric because yeah, the neck is a little bit wider and nylon strings just don't feel the same. To me, bends just feel awkward, so I don't do it. But I really enjoy the tone of nylon strings, and also for the fingers, it's just different. It's just different. It just adds flavor, and I really enjoy playing this guitar. It's just a lot of fun. It's light, it's small, it's compact. It's just not. It doesn't take a lot of getting used to when you're coming from electric or steel string acoustic. So it's just really cool to play, and I enjoy it a lot. One thing I haven't touched upon yet is the build quality of the guitar. Overall, I think it's pretty good. It plays nicely, it doesn't have any major flaws, but being a demo model of Ibanez, it had some dings and dongs when it arrived. There's also a little crack here in the finish. I'm not sure if it had this crack when it left the factory already, or if that was because it was sent around Europe for demos. So that's one thing I have to mention. And the frets, the fret ends, if you go over it like this, it's good. But if you are someone that likes to put the thumb over, they can be a little bit sharp. So they could be better. The fret ends could be better in my opinion. And there's also this fret, which one is that? The 19th fret. That I'm not sure what it is. It's maybe some excess glue. It looks a little bit funny here. I will put a picture on the screen. I hope you can see it, what I mean. It's just, I'm not sure what it is. It's not the wood. Feels like excess glue to me. So minor finish issues. But intonation is great. You can get the action relatively low. It holds tune well. And yeah, all that for a price of 700 euro or US dollars. So what's the conclusion to this guitar? Do I like it? Do I recommend it? Yes to both. I enjoy playing it, as I mentioned before. It's just an easy transition, or was an easy transition for me. I had a lot of fun with it. Thanks again for Ibanez for providing it. It's just a fun instrument. And if you like the sound of nylon string guitars, but you don't like the way classical or typical nylon string guitars feel, and you are usually playing electrics, go check this one out if you can. It's really cool, and I think the price is also great. I mean, for 700 bucks you get a great instrument. That's a lot of fun. Great for recording, great to plug in, and as I demonstrated with some high gain, it's not a lot of feedback, so it's perfect on stage and for recording and stuff like that. Overall, a really fun instrument with great playability and at a great price point. And with that, I want to finish the video with some close-ups of the Tree of Death. Have a good one. See you in another video. Bye bye.